power of tourism. The crux of the program is to mobilize investments in resilient infrastructure and essential services, create a more enabling business environment, and enhance institutional coordination. Mr. Speaker, sir, overall, we're looking at a total funding of US $100 million spread over 10 years. This is broken down in 3 phases. Very briefly, on the 3 phases. Phase 1 is valued at US $61.5 million and runs from year 1 to year 6 to set the foundations for sustainable tourism at the Bono level. This is where we are starting. It will tackle major barriers to growth, like insufficient transport infrastructure and essential services, uncoordinated plans, and limited private sector and community engagement in the tourism sector. This phase involves activities such as tourism master planning, supporting MSMEs through a pilot program, Waisali Reserve upgrade, improving Savu-Savu and Lambasa airports, upgrade on the road connecting Lambasa and Savu-Savu, a landfill for Savu-Savu, cityscape enhancements, locally managed marine protected areas, pilot wastewater treatment plants, and renewable energy investments. Mr. Speaker, sir, concerning the airports, there was a study carried out last year that highlighted that an international airport in Bono level is not feasible in the immediate future. However, what this project will support to ensure sustainable tourism growth are various investments at both Savu-Savu and Lambasa airports to improve current facilities, enhance passenger experience, and meet ICAO safety and security regulations. At this juncture, let me just assure my colleagues from Taveuni that there's also a plan for Taveuni. Essentially, Honorable Speaker, Taveuni should see the ADR landing in Matei. That is important for the growth in Taveuni. It has some wonderful resorts, and of course the beauty of but we need to extend the runway at Matei. The concept design has been developed for the extension of Matei, and land acquisition around the airport is required for this. And as I speak, dialogue is happening with the Fiji Airports Limited and the landowners, and coordinated by the Lands Department to make this happen, Honorable Speaker. So, my colleagues from Taveuni, you're also part of the equation in a significant way. Phase 2 is valued at $70 million and will tentatively run from year 3 to year 8. It will put physical and social infrastructure in place. The phase will build on lessons from phase 1 and will continue to improve essential services and infrastructure for people and tourism businesses, and further enhance the environmental, social, and cultural sustainability of tourism assets. As we speak, a lot of people in Bono level are coming forth with what they need we should do. That will be accommodated in phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 1 will put the stage in place, and what we do in phase 2 and phase 3 is learn from phase 1. So for those who are there, please don't despair. Your views will be heard and will be factored into phase 2 and phase 3.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it seems like nowadays that whenever it has to do with something to do with Vanuatu, I have to be there. Honorable Speaker, a very good statement by Minister for Tourism, but it's always good to reflect back and put mirror on the face of some people. And you might recall, Honorable Speaker, during Honorable Member's time as opposition member, the former leader of opposition, Honorable Rote Kepa, once suggested when we were actually doing 30-kilometer castling in Buddha Bay, that we are actually going to build a road leading to nowhere. And this was actually published quite a lot. But good that now, as Minister for Tourism, he actually understands why we actually need to do and build infrastructure in such areas, because as you know, Honorable Speaker, if we are talking about Deccan Railway, the road leading from Sabu Sabu Airport all the way to Napuka has some great views where new tourist destination and tourist hotel, resort, seven-star hotels can be developed. Very appropriate place, Honorable Speaker. And such irresponsible statement coming back then wasn't appropriate. This is what we actually call, Honorable Speaker, something that a visionary leader sees for the future. So we have actually done 30 kilometers. Please develop further till Napuka. Honorable Speaker, while we are still dealing with infrastructure, and we know that Sabu Sabu is a hidden paradise, Hibiscus Highway, Honorable Speaker, is about to be turned to gravel. The amount of potholes is tremendous, Honorable Speaker. I asked the government before actually doing the new infrastructure, please maintain the infrastructure that was done by fijivillage government, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order. Yes, Honorable Minister.
It's misleading because the work is being done to address that.
What
That
order?
was your point is irrelevant. Yeah. Already passed in the past.
Carry on.
Honorable Speaker, to Minister for Infrastructure, I have been requesting him for the open trench to be fixed in Kauni Road for past 1 year. It's 1 year, 2 months now, Honorable Minister, that open trench still remains on a Tahsil Road. Please get it fixed before actually talking about Hibiscus Highway. Honorable Speaker, whether this money has been approved or not, that's another question. How many box do we actually have to take before we actually access this $200 million? Honorable Speaker, in today's world, $200 million means nothing. And the way Minister tried to explain as if we are getting $200 billion to fix the whole tourism sector in Vanua-Levu. Honorable Speaker, Vanua-Levu's economy doesn't depend on tourism. And this was proved during COVID pandemic. Economy in Vanua-Levu was not affected because we don't rely on tourism. There are more important sectors, Honorable Speaker. There is agriculture. We have Fiji Rice Limited sitting in Reketi. We have food processors sitting in Batiri, where the sweet oranges they come from. We have Sangani Kava, a potential to be a $1 billion market, as explained by Minister sometimes back, Honorable Speaker. We have sugarcane industry, Honorable Speaker. We need to fix these industries if we want to build the economy. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, if we are actually talking about business, we have a very healthy business community in Lambasa. But the issue is the transportation cost from Viti-Levu to Vanua-Levu. Bringing materials all the way from China and India to Fiji is much cheaper compared to taking the same materials from Suva to Vanua-Levu, Honorable Speaker. We need to work on the freight. We need to subsidize on the freight, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if we are talking about tourism, there is a development that's supposed to take place, Volikau Hotel, at the place near to Lambasa River. A special administrator having conflict of interest is not allowing this project to go through. There has been issues. The landowners who have actually given their 60% consent for this development to take place are requesting for the resignation of that special administrator who has the conflict of interest and is objecting to this development, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on the same note, if we cannot actually do a new international airport, what is actually this government doing with regards to the airfares from Nosori to Lambasa? I have been saying this, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, it's cheaper to go to Auckland and come back to Suva than to actually visit Taviuni. Honorable Speaker, the only airline, local airline, which is providing competition to Fiji Link is downgrading his service now. He's downgrading his service. According to him, he's not getting what was promised by this government in terms of support, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we need to work on these fundamental issues before we can actually talk about $200 million that is actually provided to fix tourism in Vanua-Levu. Thank you.